Hello, everybody. Welcome to the bi-weekly cluster API provided for vSphere uh, working meeting, syncup. As usual, this is a Kubernetes sponsored meeting and will be uploaded to the clouds. And just don't be a jerk. And otherwise, if you want to be, log off and take it to the streets. It looks like it might be a short call today, Andrew. It's just us so far, but let's go ahead and just go through the usual rigmarole. All right. So for anyone watching recording can do this. So agenda today, news updates. Hey, by the way, I bet you would have said you're all leading because we couldn't have gotten for a better meeting to lead than today's. Such a light agenda and no attendees other than us.
Damn it.
Yeah, you could have counted that as I did him a favor. Actually, you've done me so many favors. I'm way in debt at this point. But so the v5.2 release, I'm glad you're here, Andrew, because we were going to release it last Friday, but you wanted to put a hold on it because we discovered a few things, and I'm just kind of curious what the status of that is. I noticed you put a note, please try out the beta, but since the meeting doesn't have, it looks like, a very large number of attendees today, we may not be able to rely on this to reach people to try it out. So what are your thoughts on doing that release?
Yeah, I think the 5.2 probably gonna do it sometime this week. The main reason I decided to hold it off is actually because of the quick start we have in the CAPI repo. That's a little out of date. And we had some issues with the way we bundled our infrastructure components file. And so I would like to get the infrastructure components work to a point where you can just apply it directly on a cluster and
Got it.
And it kind of just works. And
do you
I
have
want
an
to update.
Issue tracking, by the way, do you have an issue tracking any of that work you're doing in the CAPI at this time or no?
So I have a PR up for the doc update, but the infrastructure components work. I need to create an issue for that in CAPI and assign it to myself.
Okay.
I meant to do that Friday.
That's fine. I just wanted to link it.
Yeah, I don't think it's there.
Here's the.
Oh, yeah, that's the PR.
Yeah.
And that was really it. I mean, I've had a few people test it out. Seems to work.
I saw Miles encountered a potential issue. Could you speak to any of that?
Oh, I didn't see that. Where did he post it? Like in the channel?
I thought there was an email this morning, and maybe I'm completely wrong here. I thought he said something. I mean, I think it was a notice. It was QOL. It was issue. Hold on one second. It's issue 360. Let me bring it up. I was in the middle of typing something. Hang on. Oh, wait. I didn't actually type the. Where's the. Did I not actually save cluster API? I didn't actually save your issue. Let me save your issue real quick, and then I'll bring the other one up. Pull requests. So it's this one. And then Miles was 360.
It's pretty far back.
I thought, yeah, maybe I'm wrong here. Oh. He removed, he didn't actually comment on anything. He just removed lifecycle stale.
Oh, that was.
And I guess, but no, he removed it 4 hours ago.
No, but I mean the issue was created 3 months ago.
Yes, so I know, but the
bot
fact
probably
that he removed it and that it's related to storage makes me wonder. You know what? I'm gonna do a real quick here. Hi, Miles. Did you remove the stale marker due to something related to the CNI work in the upcoming? He's not. Miles isn't one to just willy-nilly.
Yeah, I think I know. Yeah, I see now. Okay, I see this comment 4 hours ago. I thought. Okay, I see.
So he can answer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is the same problem we ran into a while back, where the CNS plugin assumes a data store URL in the storage class, and we don't. It's not part of the.
We need to provide instructions with GoVC how to do that then.
Yeah. Okay. You put CNI again.
Where?
And well, first you had it. You
Oh,
kept putting.
yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, sorry, CNS. There we go.
Yeah, so that's really it. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to wait a bit longer to get more testing done, like for the beta releases, if folks can, if folks get a chance. But aside from that, I just want the quick start to line up so that if anyone wants to deploy CapV on an existing cluster, it kind of works without any issues. Because right now there's a whole bunch of issues that makes it hard to do that.
Gotcha. Yeah, and so I'm going to call the ball today. Before the end of the day, I'm just going to push 0.4.2 and say it works with what it works with. We don't have anybody complaining about it. And last meeting, we decided to have a discussion about if we were concerned if that doesn't work with Kubernetes 16. No one pinged me or reached out to us on Slack citing that as a concern.
Okay. Do we need to reach out to Travis about the release issue or tagging related?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll release 4.2 contingent on reaching out to Travis about tagging builds. Okay. So, are there any? So the only outstanding PRs we have or issues that are new. We have this allow leader ID and controller manager options. Allow setting it. So this is funny. I can't speak to what, but on the call, but I'm working on another project and they also run things in multiple namespaces. And I just encountered this there as well. The leader ID by default, if you don't do anything else, Kubernetes
Host
chooses
name.
dash runtime. Maybe it depends on the version of Kubernetes, but yeah, dash runtime. So, so we can make that something configurable. In fact, it goes to some of the changes I wanted to make to CapV anyway, which was to make the manager an actual package that the binary calls and then put some of these configuration options as flags on the manager binary and then have a manager options context or controller manager context and the control. We've discussed it where you could have leader election ID or leader namespace. One, they're configurable, but also they could be accessed by any part of the application, any of the controllers. It's sort of all tied to that. We could start by just addressing this and making the leader ID configurable, though.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading the issue and I'm confused about why is, so I know like the leader ID,
it's because our managers are sometimes just controller dash manager. And if they're trying to generate their own infrastructure components and not properly appending things to namespaces or prepending them, then you could have a controller name with two controller managers that are both controller dash manager.
I see. So the problem is that in all the CapV controllers, we've just been using controller manager as the leader name?
Well, when you generate things through customize, right, that ensures that it's like CapV dash controller manager or CapUp controller manager. But I guess if you are, depending on how you're pulling these components out, if you're not running them through customize, if you're not running them through the full gamut of customization, you could get some sameness at the end as the result. So I might follow up with her and ask, I might follow up with them, Loki City, and ask if they are running it through Generate or pulling our infrastructure components or how they're producing the issue, but I have seen the issue. Okay. I'm just not sure how people arrive at it.
Okay.
All right. And so the other triage was image promotion. Travis is not on the call, so nothing to speak about there, I suppose. I'm pretty happy with where we are. So if we eventually get there, great. I'm honestly thinking that it will end up causing a few more issues than it helps because then we have this one weird URL that none of our documentation uses. Although that would be a good URL to use with the infrastructure components we publish, potentially. Because everything else could just go through our normal staging and bucket URLs. Because that
Yeah.
infrastructure components file is going to get uploaded manually to the assets anyway. So
Yeah.
So manifest generation container version lacks behind quick start guide. Thought I addressed this. Same error for me. Let me manifest generation. I thought that I had addressed that. Let me bump myself here. Actually, I won't write it down. I'll just put it as labels important soon. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change that to important long term because it depends on what we end up doing with the quick start guide. We should use this and other issues related to manifest generation as the basis for a discussion around the long-term viability of the generator versus the CAPI quick start. Like I'm all in favor of what we're in agreement. Like the CAPI quick start makes the most sense, but the problem is that for getting started quickly, cluster cuddle is still the only solution that makes it really trivial to get started. So until somebody comes up with a solution that can automate what the CAPI quick start guide is, and that solution isn't cluster cuddle, for people doing testing and for people helping us with dev and test and release, like the current getting started guide makes it a lot easier, I think. But I think there's a bridge to we need to build there between the two.
Yep, I agree.
Assign some host resource. I need to get on that. Let me make sure I assign that report soon. But well, I'm going to put important long term again because I did some more thinking about that, which is why it's not in the current release. And if you've got DRS enabled, assigning the initial host shouldn't matter or HA rather, because the HA protection zone will just vMotion the virtual machine away. It could very well decide where to put it. So assigning something an initial host doesn't mean a whole lot depending on what your HA settings are.
Yep.
HA related to vSphere, not Kubernetes.
Gotcha.
I need to follow up with, okay, you already put this as a known issue. Maybe go ahead and put this as, I'm going to actually put this as short term because it's low hanging fruits. It's worth talking about. Has to create, yeah, okay, so this would be related to the v42, and these are issues we've discussed. All right, I don't think that we have any other thing to discuss today. Andrew, is there anything else you would like to bring up before we bring the call to a close?
Nope, nothing from me.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Andrew. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Andrew.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.